uko na background kwako, watu wako busy. Nime notice Victoria and Grace have one thing in common on their bios, something about mental health. Now there's this, I don't know what you can describe a person who, yani tunaweza sema what can Abdurrahman accomplish, ndio tuseme Abdul is fully mental, yani he's fully okay on the mental, yani I don't know if you get me, he's mentally mentally okay. Najua he might not be going crazy, but once he gets the triggers, you see a very different Abdul, you get. So how can we say mtu ni fully akona mental stability? Yeah, that's the word. How can you say that a person has attained full mental stability?
Okay, so I'm gonna go before Grace comes here and says everything that I want to say. so, so the thing is that nobody is ever at a full mental stable level, because life happens, and I'm going to say this very confidently, because we constantly are working on our mental health the same way we're constantly working on our physical health. Nobody is ever fully healthy. There's always that aspect of you need to constantly make sure that you're fully healthy, because unaweza toka hapa ukule tu kitu mbaya and then jeyo umeanza kuumwa na tumbo. Yeah, you've started having your tummy ache, your headaches, because maybe you've been out the whole day and you've been having a lot of noise around you and so on and so forth. There's that trigger, and then you get a headache. So you're not always fully healthy, but you constantly are working on staying healthy. That's the same thing with mental health. You're not always fully stable, because something could happen that could make you feel very, very sad. A job loss could happen, and so on and so forth. And we're not all immune towards certain situations in life. Therefore, but we're constantly working towards being healthy. We're constantly administering certain aspects of life that can help us be able to have more stable reactions towards the things that happen in life. You could have things uncontrollable. God forbid that somebody dies, yeah? And that makes you go through grief. Grief is a mental health challenge, and you have to go through it. So we're constantly working on being able to maintain a certain degree of health within mental health, but there's nothing that is called full mental health stability. There's nothing that is called, we're constantly working on positive mental health. And positive mental health means that even through challenges, we're able to not have it put us in a situation of depression or in a mental health illness situation, and so on and so forth. But there's nothing that is full stability, because life happens. And this is why we constantly have to look at mental health the same way we look at physical health. It is okay to have those days. It is okay to have a headache. I mean, if somebody says that, hey, I have a headache, that's a physical health issue, and it's not taken that seriously. So it's okay for somebody to say, hey, Bana, today is just not that day mentally. And that's okay. Sometimes nothing has to happen. You just wake up and you're like, hey, Bana, today is just not that day. And that's okay. But there's nothing like full stability, because we're still living, we're still experiencing life, and we still have those days as well. I'm done speaking.
So basically, there's no one who can attain full. There's nobody we can use as an example who has attained.
I don't think, unless Grace has somebody who never gets sad, never feels low, there's nothing like that. Everyone feels low at some point in their life. Everyone goes through, there's nothing like full mental health stability. Same way, today you could wake up, you have a headache. There's nothing like that. Unless, Grace, you know anyone who never gets sad, never has those hard days. Missy dream to your
Man. I don't know example. So what happens is there's usually what we call stress, And stress, we experience stress, all of us. Maybe it's your work, you want to achieve something, you want to, if you're an artist, you want to draw something. If maybe it's your relationships, like there's always something that is there to stress you, always. And sometimes it's usually positive because it's pushing you to become a better person, like the things you're talking about, getting to learn, getting to understand yourself. That is also a presence of stress. So you get to understand that there's positive stress and there's negative stress. Negative stress is what makes you feel sad, makes you feel down for a very long time, and if it prolongs for a very long time, could lead to a mental illness such as anxiety, depression. There's PTSD, like after a traumatic experience has happened to you. So there's very many stresses that happen, and after they take very long, they could grow into an illness. So what I would maybe suggest is we get to understand how to cope with stress. Wait 1 minute. So,
Um,
sorry, I'm back. What we can get to do is understand how to cope with this daily stress, because they will be there. Not only today, they will be there tomorrow. They were there yesterday, and they will be there every other day. So one thing is get to understand, as Vicky was saying about compartmentalizing your life. Get to understand that your life has different dimensions. There's the spiritual you, there's the social you, there's the work you. There's the relationship in you. So you get to understand and compartmentalize your life so that you identify what area of my life is stressing me. Maybe I have you have had people say that I have bad relationship, or my relationship life is a tragic mess. Someone says my financial life is a tragic mess. Another one says maybe my social life, it's very tragic. I mean, we all have various issues that are disturbing us, and at different levels. So get to understand what area of your life is getting to stress you. Then you set goals and work towards those goals. Like personally,